to the show. You guys know this coronavirus stuff is just crazy. The whole county, I live in Alameda County, is like shut down. Like all the small businesses are closed. It's crazy because everybody's scared of getting this bug. And I guess I can understand it, but good grief. I think what's going to happen is the country's going to slide into a deep, dark depression, and everybody's going to be broke and living on the street like in the 1939 before the coronavirus kills them off. It's unbelievable. Yeah, they're going crazy. I went by my cousin. They had to get the store had to get armed security guards at this grocery store called Winco. They had to get armed security guards because people had like toilet tissue, right? I don't know what the thing is about toilet tissue. Everybody's in a panic about wiping their butt. But so they get to they get the toilet tissue and people were snatching it out of other people's carts. And they was going like, to Fifth City over toilet tissue. I'm telling you, it's like it's just amazing to see. So the stores had to start limiting the number of people that could be in the store at one time, and they're steady making these announcements over the microphone. Oh, only one package of toilet tissue and one roll of package of paper towels per customer. If you come to the counter with more than that, we're gonna rip it out your hands and put it back. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Let me hurry up and get out the store. I went in there for one thing. I went there one thing in Southern Cal too. I'm telling you, I was just like kind of amazed. It's like people just losing their minds. It's like, I mean, it's like they don't understand that 99% of the people who get it recover. The ones who aren't are like old and already sickly and half dead anyway. Okay, then there's some young people that get it, but they have compromised immune systems. Like some of them have, HIV or something. They have some issues, and so they're dying too. But I mean, the majority of the people who are dying are older, and so they're like making jokes about, well, that's going to relieve the burden of Social Security and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, if you have such sick sense of humor, but it's kind of true. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm seeing. It's just I'm just observing the craziness. People are just losing their minds about this virus. So let me turn this light on because I'm looking all washed out here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, of course they're twisting shit around. There's an agenda here. I told y'all in the last show that there's an agenda. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a test. This is a test. It's prepping us for something to get people used to behaving like lemmings. And, so what happens is somebody says, oh, I must need to get toilet paper. So then everybody else says, oh, they're getting toilet paper. I need to get it too. So then, it's like this fear mongering thing spreads through the populace. And I'm just observing is like how many people are not thinkers. They're not thinkers. They just go on their gut reaction and they just believe anything they see on Fox News. And I mean, when have they ever told the truth? I mean, just think about it. Okay. Count that one time. And it probably was an accident. But yet people are clinging to what they're hearing on television like it's the gospel truth. I'm telling you, I don't watch TV. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. The boomer remover. I'm sorry. I have a sick sense of humor. That's just funny. But it is true though. But yeah, what can I say? That's why it's good to be healthy. Take care of your health. Yeah, it's scaremongering, but this is what they did with when 9/11 hit. Remember all those terror alerts for a while? Oh, it's red, it's yellow, it's orange, it's green. Today it's okay to live. It's okay today. Oh, but tomorrow you better be scared because it's a terror alert. Based on what? Just they were just toying with people's minds, and everybody let their minds be toyed with. And so I think a lot of this is the same thing. So, well, like I said, if you're not in the high risk group, you take good care of your hygiene and stay away from people who are sick. But these are things that you should do anyway, because you could catch the flu, you could catch a cold, you could catch, the measles, mumps, whatever from people who have something that's communicable. Even ringworm. I mean, whatever. I mean, all kinds of stuff is communicable. But if you take necessary precautions, then that doesn't happen to you. You don't catch those things. You don't have that risk. And so this is like, oh yeah, weren't they doing the most? Girl, that 9/11 was just something else. And here's what's his name? Well, anyway, enough of this politic talk. I have to save my voice for these letters. Now I know y'all gonna be mad because I think because of the coronavirus thing, people aren't really thinking about their relationships that much. They're only thinking about staying alive and getting toilet paper. So we only have 17 letters today. 17, because I noticed the stack was a little thin versus how it usually is. So it's 17 letters. So y'all don't be too mad. We'll do what we can with this. All right, so let's get started. This is What the Fuck Tuesday. My name is Deborah Cooper, advice columnist here on survivingdating.com and askheartbeat.com. I've been doing this since 1993. It's an old timer. And so I can do this. Just read the question and give you an answer just right off the cuff. And I suggest you also read the chat room because sometimes they have a different perspective. They think of things that I didn't think, or they have some different insight. Like if it's a local thing and they live in that area, they might have some insight for you that's particular to that geographic area. So always, if you sent in a question, listen to my answer and then look in the chat room as well because you might get some nice surprises. All right, so let's get started. Question number 1. This is from a female in the 30 to 36 age group out of the UK. A friend of mine put me down as emergency contact at her daycare, and she's now furious that I refused to pick up her sick child. I use the term friend loosely. We drifted apart after her daughter was born, and the kid is 3.5 now. I had missed 3 calls on my phone when I went on break at work. Voicemails were from the daycare saying that the kid was sick. She had a gastrointestinal problem. That means she was throwing up and having the runs. And I needed to pick her up as they couldn't contact the mom or dad. Now, I had no idea I was the emergency contact. I rang the daycare back and told them I had never agreed to be the emergency contact and they would have to contact someone else. The daycare lady got shirty with me. Shirty? Telling me the kid was sick and that I had to pick her up. I replied that I didn't have to do crap. I was sorry the kid was sick, but she's not my responsibility and to sort it out themselves. The lady tried to argue, but I hung up and blocked the number. Got an angry phone call that afternoon from the mom screaming at me for refusing to pick the kid up. She had to leave work to get her. I cut her off and told her that how dare she put me down as the emergency contact. She knew I would never agree, and I told her to go screw herself. I don't care and have cut off all contact. How dare she? I am still so angry. I don't babysit, especially when a kid is sick, and I'm not taking leave from work for her kid. Do you think I was wrong? Absolutely not. She tried to pull a fast one, thinking she was going to guilt trip you into taking care of her child. See, this is why people should use birth control. I teach it all the time. If you don't have backups for yourself and for your kid, don't have a child. Don't do it. You're not prepared. You don't have the tools, you don't have the resources to raise a child. See, people need to think about stuff like this. You know what I mean? And you don't put you did well to even talk to the daycare because I just would have hung up quick. Like what? No, click. That would have been like a two-word conversation. So I think you did well to explain to the daycare center, you're under no legal obligation to do anything just because somebody wrote your name on a form. I mean, she could have went through the phone book or whatever they call it now, because I guess they don't have phone books anymore. But you know what I mean? Just pick the name out the blue sky and put a phone number down with it, and then think that that person's gonna be responsible for her child. And the person who should have left work to go get her child was her. So I don't know why she was mad at you. No, I think you did exactly the right thing. You have very firm boundaries. You were very clear on what you would and would not do. You didn't allow yourself to be manipulated or guilt tripped. 2 thumbs up. And I know a lot of people be like, well, she didn't know who it was. She called her at work. People call you at work and you pick up the phone. I mean, just think, she said there were some messages, but it's a woman calling her back to back to back to back to back to back, and she picks up the phone. that doesn't mean necessarily mean, especially like businesses have a restricted number. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to know who's calling you, you know. Lux is crazy. I'm just, that's just doing the most. She did too much. And to think that somebody's supposed to take care of your sick child. I know the woman probably feels stressed out because she gonna know she gonna have to miss work and she's gonna miss money, especially if she's already low on vacation, and sick pay and stuff. Yeah, they do act like that, Diana. I'm like, shoot, you the one that laid up there and made that damn baby, not me. I don't have no responsibility for that. Okay, I took care of mine. She's an adult now, and I told her too. Though, if you think you having a kid, you think I'm gonna be babysitting, you better think again. That's not happening. I have a life, and I intend to live it. And it's not gonna be changing baby diapers and poopy diapers and looking to hear some kid screaming. It's not in my life plan. I already did that. I just no. I don't feel like it. I went to a 4 year old's birthday party with my cousin. Her son's little girl was turning 4, and we went to that birthday party. I'm telling you, let me tell you about how quickly I almost lost my mind. I'm just not, I'm not, that's not me. I'm not meant to be around little kids. Not no whole bunch of them, one at a time, maybe. But that was just too much. It was just like they was like walking around and just crawling around like ants. It was just too many of them, and they just made a bunch of noise. And my head was hurting. My eyes were insulted. My nerves were shot. I couldn't wait to get up out of there. And she was playing with them and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I should have drove my own car so I could have escaped. But yes, I know I'm not meant to be around a bunch of little kids. That's not me. So, honey, I hear you. I'm on your team 100%. Let's move on. Question number 2. This is from a male, 26 to 29 from Fairfield. Oh, I haven't actually gone on a date in about 2 years, and I worked up the nerve to finally ask out a girl I've been crushing on for about 8 months. But my head got in the way, I'm pretty sure. The way I see it, I always felt like she was more into my friend. He's naturally much more charming and flirtatious than I am, and they have a playful banter. Around me, she's more soft spoken and quiet. I'm pretty timid and distant, to be fair. We worked together. When I asked her out, she said she would like to get to know her coworkers more. This threw me off, so I figured she wanted a more casual outing. It felt like she was only saying yes because she didn't want to hurt my feelings and make things awkward. A part of me wanted to get out of it, given the rising threat of the virus. I told her if she wanted to cancel, she could, but she assured me a little excitedly that she still wanted to meet, so I felt a little more reassured. First thing I definitely did wrong was show up late. She lives in the city, whereas I live further out on the outskirts, and did not judge time very well. She looked a little uncomfortable, and I'm very sensitive to that, so I didn't want to get bold or anything. But she started to complain a bit about her living situation, not in a bratty way, though. She's a singer, and she shares a one-bedroom apartment with, I think, 3 other girls. Damn! I'm also into music and have a solid recording setup. I'm more experienced in the field than she is, and she said she didn't like having to record in her closet as she found it depressing. I didn't think of it at the time, but did she want me to invite her to my place? I'm more of a producer. She says she doesn't really have time and doesn't know enough to produce her own music and ends up buying pre-composed beats. I think she wanted me to help her, but I did no such thing. She looked unimpressed. I mean, I went home thinking it didn't go well because she likes my friend. But if that were true, why did she agree to meet with me? Why did she not back out when I gave her the opportunity to do so? Am I reading too much into this, or am I a complete and total fool? Be brutally honest with me, Deb. I can take it. No, you can't. No, you can't, because I'm going to hurt every feeling that you've ever had. You're an idiot. Okay, you're a dummy. You're a dummy and you're stupid. This girl, by being excited about meeting with you, that means she wanted to go out with you. Now, my question is though, is why? It's not because she likes your friend. What you're reading too much into it. Usually when a woman likes a guy, that's when she's more quiet, right? Because she don't want to say the wrong thing. She's kind of scared and nervous. So you flipped it. When she just is like friendly with somebody, oh, like a brother or whatever, you can be all wild and crazy and silly with that person. But when you get quiet and more subdued, that's when you like the guy. So obviously, you don't even understand what you're seeing. You don't understand how women operate. Right, ladies? He just a dummy. And your self-esteem is like in the toilet because all you can think about is your friend and to how somebody doesn't like you, they like somebody else. You know, this mentality that you have, sir, is going to keep you from ever having a relationship because you don't have no confidence. You don't have any confidence in yourself. Now, what she was doing, talking about the music, that was your cue to say, well, I charge to do that. That's my business. But, I'm sure we could work something out. Wink, wink. Okay, you don't have no play in you at all. Man, if I was a dude, she would have been all over my house, drawers off, legs up in the air. And I'm a woman, but I have these this kind of game mentality. You don't have it. She gave you all kinds of play and you just didn't pick up on it at all. So even if you didn't like help her make a track or anything, you guys could have still had fun, like, doing freestyling or something with your little studio there, or singing oldies or something, or some old rap songs or something, just singing, just having a good time, having a drink and doing that. You had a perfectly fine entertainment vehicle set up to have you something you have in common with this woman, and you messed it up. Ooh, Lord have mercy. He just, oof. Dude, you're hopeless. So yes, the answer to your question here. Am I really too much into this? Yes. Or am I complete and total fool? Yes. Yeah, you're both things. You're reading too much into it, and you're a dummy. Let's move on. If you were my son, I'd be mad. Question number 3, female, 21 to 26, out of Seattle. What gives? The last 3 men I have dated have all sent me numerous selfies that I did not ask for. She put that in caps. No, these are not those selfies, but actual facial selfies. Oh, I know what she means, those. Why do they do this? I find it very weird and a major turnoff. I don't need 2 to 3 selfies of you a week. I'm pretty sure I remember what you look like. Have you heard of anyone else experiencing this? It's like they are fishing for compliments or something. Mm, I don't know. This is you 21 to 26, so y'all in that age group where everybody take a picture of everything they do. This is me eating with a fork. This is me eating with a spoon. This is me brushing my teeth. This is me getting on my pajamas and going to bed. I mean, y'all just chronicle your lives on social media. People my age group don't do that. So it's hard for me to even think about, taking a bunch of pictures. I think I've taken 2 selfies my entire life. And one of them, my daughter had to tell me how to do it because I wasn't even sure how to do it. But yeah, I think this is kind of a narky thing. He's just admiring himself so much. He wants to chronicle his beauty and then spread it around to try to think he's going to make your day. But, were you me, you would say, "Why are you sending me this crap? I don't want to see you. I didn't ask you for a picture of yourself and don't send me any more of these." That's what I would say. You're wasting my space on my phone with this nonsense. I know what you look like. I don't need to see you to send me picture after picture after picture. I don't know. It's just stupid. That's just so juvenile. I mean, what are you trying to do? But I mean, that like I said, that's just me. I know that's just a generational thing. Y'all like to take selfies. And so, but if it's bothering you, young lady, have the gumption to tell him so. Say, hey, I'm not really into men sending me selfies, so can you stop, please? It's like kind of a turn off. It doesn't do anything for me, and it's not sexy at all. That's all you have to say to them. Anything that you say to a man and you couch it with "that's not sexy," they'll stop doing it immediately. Immediately, because they just don't want to. They want a picture in return. Psh, who got time to be doing that? Folks have stuff to do. Posting every picture on Facebook and he in his 50s. Oh, that's stupid. Yeah, that's somebody who's, they're trying to catch young women. That's what that's about. Their mind is tripping out on being young. Okay, let's move on to question number 4. I've had enough of selfie talk. Question number 4, female, 26 to 29, out of Orlando, Florida. Now, I just want to say I will do anything for my son, to protect my son and to make sure he doesn't go without. People have questioned my parenting now that I'm seeing someone and not waiting until my son has grown up. They have. My ex is my son's father. He hasn't seen my son since birth. Whoa. He decided he really wasn't ready for a kid. We were 22. I'm 27 now. I become close to guys, and as soon as I tell them about my son, they become cold or just disappear. My current boyfriend, I kept quiet about my son for a while. When I told him, he said, "I know. I heard you on the phone to his school a month back." He hasn't gone off on me or gone cold. He lives in another part of the country and regularly travels with work. I travel with work too, and this is how we met. We see each other weekly. We met 8 months ago. He has been such a gentleman. He has asked to meet my son. I'm worried my son won't take to him or like him. Last time I tried introducing someone, my son didn't like him. It put him off. Should I chat with my son first? What should I say? My boyfriend suggested as we live near Legoland, he could pay for us to go there and treat us to a day out. We said as a first meet, pizza or burgers, and I said he could stay over at mine in the spare room if we met after work. I suggested Friday after work. What else could I think about before introducing to my child? The first thing you're going to think about is he ain't spending the night at your house in the spare room or any other room. Okay, you're going to meet him there. You're going to have fun for a few hours, and then you're going to leave and go in your car back to your house, and he's going to go in his car back to his. Don't you do that to that kid. He just met the man. All of a sudden, you want him to be an overnight guest and jam him down his throat? That's not how you do things. You make a light little introduction. Let the kid absorb it and get used to this person. You're like in such a rush to make sure that he likes him, man. You want to just inundate him with the guy. That's too much. That's too much. That you're doing too much. Okay, let them have a small little meet. You go away. They have a small little meet. You go away. They go have fun together. Everybody have fun together. You go away. You let the boy get used to this presence in your life, and his sounds like gradually. He's 5. You don't push stuff like that down little kids' throat. But you never know. I mean, the kid might take to him. He might just love him, from day one. I mean, sometimes it's like that. Little kids just take to certain people. They like them immediately, and that's just it. But we don't know if that's going to be the case. So you're going to go into this cautiously, and you say you want to protect your son. So what is this overnight stuff? You don't want the kid to wake up and see that clown still there. That's ridiculous. Why are you even thinking that? So you be tipping in the room in the middle of the night. Stop it. You don't do that. So you do what I say, and you should be all right. But the fact that he hasn't run off, that's a good sign. And usually, women with sons have better luck with, getting a new man than women with daughters. I've noticed that statistically. It's like they like being fathers to a son, stepfather to a son, more than a daughter. Okay, this letter's long as hell. What in the world is this? We're gonna be skimming this thing here. For those of you who just joined us, we have a shorter show today. We're looking for some more super chat donations. Come on, folks. Come on, people. Catfish apartment. No, oh yeah, I had one of those. A date with that. That guy was a trip. Let's move on to question number 5. Female, 30 to 36, out of Los Angeles. I met this guy on Tinder. Why? I know, not the most romantic place, but living in LA seems like this is where all the dating is at now. Oh, really? They used to have some of the best nightclubs in LA. Man, them things was just like so much fun. He is 36 years old and I am 31. We hit it off great. He basically texted me every single day. Hold on, new page. For 5 months. Always a good morning. How are you today? Followed by a daily chat, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so during that time, we saw each other 10 to 12 times. Okay, so they were dating every day for 5 months. So they said 5 months, and they saw each other 10 to 12 times in 5 months. So that's 2 to 2.5 times per month. Hmm. He always took me out, held my hand, he held my purse. He would do sweet things like kiss my hands, kiss my forehead. Towards the end, he started sleeping over at my place. We would hang out together and watch TV. One time I made him breakfast, even packed him lunch for work. I never felt a strong connection with someone before. I guess one of the red flags, we never talked about our relationship status. We never talked about what we were looking for from the beginning, which I realize now was a mistake. I was scared to bring it up. But with the way things were going, it seemed like we were kind of all together anyway and moving towards that direction. I was planning on bringing it the next time I saw him, but to my luck, that's when he ghosted me. Throughout the relationship, he was always honest about family issues he was having and some property problems he had in another country. Oh, really? Well, he's good. Dude is good. He is smooth with a V. Then one day he stopped texting me. He didn't respond to my text. I got really worried because it wasn't like him to not respond. I texted him several times, asking if he was okay. He finally got back to me the next day saying, "Hey, sorry, I have a lot of stuff going on with my family, and I think I need to fly out of the country to deal with the property. We need to take a break." I knew that was coming. I was pretty devastated, but I agreed to give him space and offered to help him in any way I could. A few days later, I sent him a text saying I missed him. No response. Another few days later, I sent another text saying I was thinking about him and I hope things were okay. So then a week later, the whole coronavirus thing hit, and I asked him if he was still planning on flying. He said, no, it's too crazy right now. So my thought was, so is our break over? Hmm. I asked him if he was still interested in me, if we could talk on the phone or meet up. No response. Next day, I noticed he updated his Tinder profile. He had new pictures and a new About Me section. So I asked him about what was going on. He said, I'm so great, and how he has a lot of stuff going on. His life sucks right now, and sorry that he dragged me into this situation. Just said a bunch of stuff, but did not acknowledge what I was actually asking. Then over the next few days, I texted him a bunch of times, asking to meet me in person and talk to me on the phone. He ignored me every single time. I was getting so frustrated, I sent him some mean texts, calling him out for being so mean, for ignoring me after all that we had, that I let him sleep in my bed. And this is how he treats me. He blocked me. I don't understand how this happens. Our relationship was not starting to fade. The last time I saw him, he offered to fix something for me the next time he saw me, and we were planning to starting to go into the gym together. The last time I saw him, we kissed for like 20 minutes in the morning before he went to work, and then he just ghosted me and disappeared out of my life like this. What the fuck? She says. Okay, first of all, you wrote a damn novel. Nobody cares if you made him breakfast and lunch. I mean, and packed a lunch for him. I mean, what does that have to do with the question? You just was like all in your feelings. First of all, wait a minute. How old are you? See, you talk so much, I forgot. 30 to 36. You too old for this. Number one, you only see a man 10 to 12 times in 5 months. That is a booty call. That is not a relationship. You are not dating him. That's just somebody you occasionally kick it with. Understand what is going on here. I don't know what you was thinking, what you were perceiving other than what was reality. You said it right here. During that time, we saw each other 10 to 12 times. That's not a relationship, chick. Not in 5 months. If a man's into you, you're going to see his behind 10 to 12 times in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the most, maybe a month, but not over 5 months. You know, he was doing all the seductive romantic things to get you all flipped out and turned around, and you fell for all of them. But the main thing here, that's the main misconception I want to address, is you use the term that he ghosted you. He did not ghost you. He very clearly told you twice, if not three times, I lost track because you wrote so much, that he wasn't doing it. He wasn't gonna doing this anymore. He's like, we should take a break. Okay, that's number one. And then he says, sorry, I got into all of this stuff after you text bombed him to death. He's like, I have a lot of stuff going on with my family. I need to fly out of the country, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's time number two. He's telling you to your face that you two are over. So he didn't ghost you. So you need to get out of your feelings. This was a clean breakup. You just don't want to accept it and don't want to be yelling at people and acting all crazy. Yeah, 10 to 12 times in 5 months. If that's the case, then I'm dating a grocery store clerk at Lucky's because he cute. And every time I go in there, I go in his line and we talk, 10 to 12 times in 5 months. I mean, what is she thinking? She crazy. She a crazy. I don't know, the young lady. You have some issues. You need to get a better handle on what constitutes dating. I suggest you spend more time on this channel watching some of these videos so you understand game better. Although I can't really say he really played games. He played the romantic game, but you know that kind of thing. That's what guys will do is seduction. And if he's only seen you that much, in that texting you and stuff, you can't have a relationship by text. That's how dudes keep in touch with a whole stable of women by text. And then they roll through once or twice a month for each of them. So say there's about 10 of them. So he got himself a good time for 20 nights of the month. And everybody thinking that it's something special because he texts them every day. Y'all need to wise up. Yeah, I think she's a little too old for this too. 30 to 36, but who knows what, I don't know people's background. And just because you're a chronological age, that doesn't mean that you have like the emotional maturity to go with it. But there are a lot of mistakes that you made here, and it's very unfortunate. So let's move on. Question number 6. We only have 17 questions today, so if those of you who wasn't here at the beginning, you're going to be sad. I think the coronavirus done struck folks down so that they're not writing they're not writing in to share their woes. So question number 6, male, 25 to 29 out of Chicago. So I had a date with this absolutely gorgeous woman. The check comes and she didn't offer to pay. I'll admit she did say thank you. She Ubered to the restaurant and I offered to take her home, which she took me up on. After I dropped her off, she texted me and said thanks again for the ride. Smiley face. Should I text her for not even offering to pay? She didn't even do the fake grab at the check. You a dusty ass fool. That's what you are. See, Negroes in Chicago just kill me. First of all, you ask a woman out, and then you even, in the remotest part of your dark recesses of your stupid mind, think that she's supposed to offer to pay? You asked her out. What's wrong with you? Why do you think you ask a woman out and she's supposed to pay? You're drunk, high, stupid, crazy, something. All the above, perhaps. And she's absolutely gorgeous. Do you know that most men, when they have a woman who's like that stunning, they will buy her shit, take her in because they just want to be seen with her. They just so excited they have a dime piece. Not you. You trying to act like somebody owes you something. And actually had the nerve to write me a letter to ask me if you should text her about not offering to pay. Don't you dare fix your fingers to do that dumb shit. You know what she would do? If I were her, I would take a screenshot of that and I would blast social media with it and tell everybody not to go out with you because you a dusty, cheap bum. That's what I would do. Your name would be mud in Chicago. Nobody would want to go with you. Everybody would see you out on the street and point their fingers at you and laugh at how cheap and tawdry and stupid you are. You're just a dusty bum. 25 to 29. Who taught you about dating? You need to stay single forever. Thank you, Natural. We get more people, more donations. I have to monitor my conversation because to monitor my language. This letter does count. He's stupid. I mean, just unbelievable. The fake grab the check thing. Oh my God. I'm just staring at this letter in disbelief. I know he must have been crazy to think that I was going to be on his side with this. Question number 7, female, 21 to 26 out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We met on Tinder. Oh, why is everybody meeting there? Had normal conversations, seemed like he was really into getting to know me, remembered all the details, asked about my life, etc. I showed genuine interest in him too. We had a nice second date. Afterwards, he said, I can show you where I live, by the way. We drived around his neighborhood and he showed me his parents' place. I was thinking of the possibility that maybe he was trying to get me to come over. On the first date, he somehow mentioned that he's often home alone. Then on his second date, he made like a slight slash innocent jokes about BJ's or eggplant stiffies. It just crossed my mind that maybe, and she put maybe in caps, he decided to show his place and encouraged me to say I can come over. Like I honestly don't come up with a reason why he showed me the house in the first place. Is it over analyzing? Okay, he didn't show you where you didn't say he showed you where he lived. He showed you his neighborhood. And he showed you his what's supposed to be his parents' house. So is he trying to say he lives with his parents? Is that what he's trying to say? I'm confused. You're in the 21 to 26 age group, so that is a possibility that he's still living at home. But yeah, that must be it. Because he says he's home alone. That must be it. That's where his parents live. He lives with them. And he's thinking he's gonna come up over on some booty. No, you're not over analyzing. You were very good. Thank you for being a smart young lady and picking up on the hints. But then once you picked up on, when a guy starts making slight slash innocent jokes about those kinds of things, it's not innocent. I don't know what you're thinking. That is pointed. It is rude. It's nasty. He's disrespectful. You're on your second date and he's already trying to get you to do something with your mouth on him. He's a nasty freak. And I want you guys, young ladies, to understand when they do stuff like this, it's extremely disrespectful. It's not showing you he's just looking for you just to be some booty. And it's like you think that it's innocent. It's not. It's a disgrace. Any man with any kind of sense and game knows how to finesse a woman. He don't come out like that. These guys are so just disgusting. They don't have no game, no understanding about how to finesse a woman to do anything. Okay, just stupid, just dumb, just come right out with it, just trashy. So what you're supposed to do when he says something like this, you're supposed to go, stop, stop, stop talking. You right now, I was having a slightly good opinion of you, but at the moment, I think you're nothing but garbage. You think that because you took me out twice, that you have the right to talk to me like that? To tell me about what you want to do sexually to me? Or for me to do for you, rather. That's what it sounds like. Like I'm some kind of free whore? What the fuck? No. Pull over. I'm getting out. I want to get out. I don't want to be dealing with you. I don't want to look at you. You suck ass. That's what you're supposed to tell him. And then you get out of his car and you call yourself an Uber. That's what you do. You don't let some guy talk to you like this. They talk to you like this online. They talk to you like this on the phone. They talk to you like this on a date. You get rid of them. That's just ridiculous. He didn't give you a chance to, he just give you a chance to find out if you like him or not. He just want to be all knee deep up in your underwear. I don't know why you didn't cuss him out. I'll be cussing men out right and left, coming at me like that. Well, it just really was pointless to even go riding around with him to go see his neighborhood. Who gives a shit where you live, monkey? Live in a fucking tree. I don't give a shit. I mean, what's that got to do with me? I'm not moving in with you, so I don't give a fuck where you live. So no, I'm getting out. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't know. These dudes, they give me the itchies. They just so creepy and weird. Question number 8, female, 26 to 29, out of Atlanta. I've been with my boyfriend for 2. If it's Atlanta, it's gonna be some bullshit. Chicago and Atlanta and Baltimore. Every single time, they be on some major malarkey. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years now. Our 2-year anniversary is the day after tomorrow. Well, I don't know when she wrote it, so this probably already happened. Throughout the entirety of our relationship, he has struggled with lying to me. He has struggled with lying to me. He ain't struggled at all. You the one struggling to deal with a liar. But let us move on. About everything, she says. For the past few months, he's been better about it, but now the main issue is him lying to me about watching adult sites on the internet. Oh, you know what that means. He is actually addicted to it. When he gets into his throes of watching it, he loses almost all attraction to me and we stop being intimate. We'll maybe do it once a week if I'm lucky and only when he's in the mood. And he's telling me that he doesn't find me as attractive when he's watching it because I don't have big boobs or a big butt. Ooh, I would hurt his feelings so bad. He's my rock, and I love him more than anything. We've talked about how we want to get married and have kids in the future, but I can't imagine being married to someone, let alone having kids with someone I can't trust and who doesn't find me attractive. So what are you doing there then? You're a dummy. I'm sorry. He lied to you every day about everything for 2 years, and you still with him. I'm like, what? Am I missing something? Yes, but don't type those words. Block that out. Now, see, we changed the words because we don't want that stuff in the chat because it demonetizes the videos. That's why I didn't say it. And then you're going to go type it in the chat. Don't do that. Don't type those kind of words. YouTube is like real crazy about that kind of stuff. That's why we changed the words, okay? Oh my God. When he's not watching it, things are great, but then he starts watching it again and doesn't come clean until I catch him. He's made me promises time and time again and broken them. I've been reading things that say if I don't let him watch it in the future, he'll cheat on me with someone else. Well, you need to stop reading that. I don't have a problem with it per se. I watch it myself sometimes, but when it's taking a toll on our relationship, on my self confidence, and everything in between, it becomes an issue. I broke up with him last night as I've tried too many times before over this same issue. I don't want to lose him, but I don't see a way out. Girl, you ain't never had him. You haven't had him for 2 years. You just been wasting your time. Okay, let's go down the list of what she's dealing with. A liar who lies all the time, just because it's a sunny day. Just lies, just spewing forth, just for about everything. Then she say he got better, but she don't really know that because he could just become a better. He got better, all right, at lying, and so he don't get caught. And then he's this addict to these adult sites and stuff, and he's not really interested in her. It's just when he gets in the mood and wants some variety, then he puts down his remote control and he picks up her. Okay, so there's that. Then he emotionally abuses her by telling her that she's not attractive because she doesn't have these particular body parts. Then um, he covers up that he's watching it until it doesn't come clean until she catches him. And then he makes promises and he keeps breaking them. And you're afraid if you don't let him do it, like you could stop him, that he'll cheat on you with someone else. And so there's nothing about this relationship that makes any sense. I'm trying to figure out why you was with him for 2 years. You must like struggle love. She likes struggle love, and that's it. Well, we don't know what she's doing, but I don't know. She finally broke up though, but let's see how long it lasts. Chances are by the time I read this on the show, she's already back with him. Because that's how these types go. They get mad and they break up. And then this guy sweet talks them back into it with more promises. And then they go back and it's the same thing happens all over again. Question number 9, male, 30 to 36, out of Oakland. Me and my ex-girlfriend have known each other since 2007. Okay, that's a long time. We have gone through a lot of things, from being poor to having an addiction together to finally becoming sober. And then about a year after becoming sober, this is around 2014, we had a daughter. Me and her did not agree on having a child in our position. She decided to have our daughter. Her mom told her that she would take care of everything. Now her mom stopped and left her on her own about 6 months in. Then I took over everything, paid all the bills, and I moved to my parents because I was still upset that she had found a new relationship within months of us having disagreements and having a child. Okay, so I mean, I was at the house from 6 p.m. to 11, 10, 11 most nights, and my days off, I was there doing things with her and my daughter. Then, about a year and a half ago, me and her went and celebrated our birthdays, and we decided we were going to work on things again. I planned a trip and vacation. We went on vacation. At first, she was cold, but at the end of the vacation, she was getting closer, and we left. We planned on doing a lot of things to have a better future for us and our daughter. Then on New Year's, she was cold. She was cold again. Okay, blah, blah, blah. He just went through he's all in his feelings. She wants me to be there. She wants me to carry all the financial burdens, but tells me that I'm not sure if I'm going to be with that guy forever, but I know we aren't going to work. But she keeps going back and forth. He wants me to be there as a friend and co-parent, but she will contact me daily to ask how my days are going. And she gets mad when I went out with a girl a couple of nights ago, which wasn't a date, but it should have been a date. I want my family back and not to and to be the best father to my daughter. Please help me figure out what to do. All I get from her is blaming me for all the wrong things that has happened in our relationship, and that she does not want to be with someone that acts like they're doing them a favor for paying for everything while she's taking care of our daughter all day. I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do. I told her let's move back in and get married since that was one of our issues, but now she tells me, "Oh, you're telling me this too late. Please help me. Thank you." Girl, dude, you need to break up with this wench. And what you know what you need to do? You're the one working and paying all the bills. You need to file for custody of your daughter. That's what you need to do. Having your daughter and paying daycare would be cheaper than paying for all the bills at that woman's house. Have her at your house. And then she can go live wherever she want to live. You are not responsible for her. You're not married to her, never were. So where I understand you want to make sure your daughter's taken care of and all of that, and I commend you for that. But she's using that to manipulate you. You got to stop with this. So you tell her I'm going to do this for a month or two more, and then I'm out. Okay, so you need to get a job and make the magic happen. Get daycare, whatever you need to do. Go to social services and do it. And I hope you have receipts for everything that you've been paying so that you can prove that you were not a dust bucket father, because you're going to end up in court and you're going to have to prove what you were paying, for her and the upkeep of your daughter. And that will get you off the hook from having to pay like arrearages and child support or anything like that. But you file for custody. That's what you need to do. You're a far better parent. She's crazy and immature and stupid. And like I said, you can get probably. I mean, for the money that you paying for her rent and all that stuff, you could probably get a nanny or some shit. But definitely get daycare. Drop your daughter, pick her up, and just live your life. And you wouldn't have to work so hard because you would only be paying one rent. Or if you live with your parents, you could just help them out with some bills with some of that money that you was wasting over there. I'm sure they would appreciate it because they're getting on in years. So just rethink how you're going to position this relationship with this woman is over. She's letting you're letting her yank your chain and yank your heart around right with it. I love to see a young man taking care of his responsibilities and his child. Please understand, I'm in your corner 555% on that. But what I disagree with is you doing anything for this heifer. Is just trying to use you for financial gain while she dips around with other men and had a nerve to be mad about you going someplace. I would go out with somebody else every week and be sure to send her pictures too of me having a good time, toasting, laughing, arm wrapped around somebody. I would wear her out because she thinks she's the only one that can do it. Yeah, it's very one-sided. She just using him. Poor thing. Let's move on to question number 10. Female, 26 to 29 in Boston. So my fiance and I have managed to have a distance relationship that will soon come to an end. I'm starting to feel really turned off by his ways. So he booked a flight to come out to visit me April 14th and leaving me on the morning of my birthday at 6:30 a.m. My first thought was, why would he choose to leave early in the morning of my birthday? So I asked. He said because the flight was cheaper to fly out on a Tuesday. I just felt this was so inconsiderate. He's done other things on my birthday to make me feel this way too. I told him it would be nice if he would stay for the birthday, so he changed his flight to leave the next morning after. I feel like letting him know how this felt in a way that doesn't lead him to lash out at me or coming up with a way to get him to not come out at all so I can avoid the chance of him running my birthday. I think she meant ruining. I could say, why don't we make plans to spend together the following month due to coronavirus? Stop being silly. He changed his plans to come out and to be with you now. It would bother me because flights right now are cheap whenever you fly because there no ain't nobody getting on a plane because of the coronavirus stuff. They done slashed them prices to like practically free. They just want some bodies in the plane because they got to pay them flight attendants and the pilots regardless. So they just want some people on the plane to make it worthwhile. So all the flights are cheap. So he talking about it's cheaper on a Tuesday. He lying. Okay, he's lying. Now that's why he could change it so easily. But if I had a boyfriend for what did you say? Oh, okay. I don't know. You didn't say how long, but it's long distance. And he was coming to see me for my birthday. For my birthday, he's coming to see me for my birthday. But you leave the morning of my birthday, and he planned it that way, and he didn't see that there was something wrong with that. I would break up with him just on that alone. It's like, what are you doing? How is this being with me on my birthday that you planned? This is what you claim that you came out here for. I'm confused. So I don't know. I don't. This wouldn't really work for me. But if you want to make plans to spend a month for following with, he already made the plane reservation. Now, what's wrong with you? You think he gonna keep paying that change fee every time you get a whim? Slow your roll, chick. He's coming out. He's gonna be with you on your birthday. Just leave it alone, okay? He's leaving the next day. Enjoy your birthday and shut up. Don't say nothing. Just smile and be cute. Question number 11. She sounds stupid. Male, 18 to 21, New Jersey. So I stayed with my girlfriend's parents for a week, and it was a week break from college. So I woke up late around 10 or 11 because I didn't have enough work to do there. And my girlfriend had work every day. She did the same when she stayed with my family. Later on, she started calling me lazy, and she told me that her family thinks I'm lazy. She has a rough family. Her mom never worked, and her father lost his job. They started being very hard on me, and I don't know, it turned to cruelty. She told me that they think she's better than me. One day she was having a bad day, and she told me that she's better and stronger than me. She told me that they make fun of my weight. They think I'm spoiled. One day I teared up on Skype because of all the insults, and she told her brother, who started calling me a crybaby. But she always apologizes and tells me that they give her a lot to deal with, and she snaps. I should have been more calm and alpha in front of her. I should have made a better impression in person. But are their reactions too much? You can only be who and what you are. You're a kid. In the 18 to 21 age group, that's a kid. And if you have all these people bullying you and ganging up on you like that, sir, I want you to break up with this girl. I don't want you to ever talk to her bitch ass ever again. Don't. Don't just act like you don't even know her. Tell her it's over because since then she's too good for you. That's your out right there. Just tell her, yeah, you know they're right. You are too good for me, so let's break up because I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered. And I just don't want to be talked to like that. And so you go and take that road show somewhere else that doesn't include me. I'm out. And that's all you have to do. Yes, their reactions are too much. Look at all these people gonna gang up on one little teenage boy. Good thing I'm not your mama. Cause I would have went over there and told them something. You want to bully somebody? Try it with me, and let me tell you how it's done. Cause I'm about to rip all y'all a new ass. Me treat my. I mean, I know you're grown and all that, but you still people say, well, at 18 they're grown and legally they are, but they're still children in my book. Anytime this still says teen after, you're a kid, okay? And I don't care. Anything else, you're still a child, and that's just the way I feel. And I would have told them people something. They a rough family. So is mine. But if she's got that rough, that means she's a hood rat. You don't need to be messing with her ass anyway. Leave her alone. You need a woman with better class and some better roots. She don't have no sense, and her family has none either. Question number 12, female, 30 to 36. Oh, no location. Okay, so she says, I've been with, quote, John for nearly 12 years and married for 9. 5 months ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, stage 2. It's treatable, but requires surgery and several cycles of chemo. John has literally done nothing to help me. I receive very little sympathy or care from him. Last month, I moved in with my sister so she could help take care of me as I am weak and I need the assistance. Yesterday, I went to our house, and when I got there, John was sleeping, and something in me said, look at his phone. He had several texts between him and some woman named Jennifer. He basically has been dating Jennifer for the past 4 months. I woke him up and asked him why he cheated and why he'd abandoned me when I needed him. I had been a good wife and took care of him full time even after he had his motorcycle accident. I fed him, washed him, and cared for him for 2 years since he literally couldn't stand on his own. I paid off his student loan since he could not work for 4 years. Now that I need help, he's pretending like I don't exist or like I'm not his problem. He didn't have much to say about the cheating other man. I have needs, but his answer on why he wasn't taking care of me certainly stuck out. He said, I didn't ask you to stand care for me. You shouldn't have expected that of me. I left and went home to my sister. I haven't told her or anyone. I'm so confused. How could he say that? Shouldn't I be able to expect him to care for me and not cheat? I used to believe he loved me and liked me, but the past 5 months have been an eye opener. Why doesn't he care? Because he never did. He was just there for the convenience. And all the statistics I've read say that most, the marriages when women get sick, the men bail. They don't have it in them. Some do, but they're the minority. The rest get weird, just like this guy. It's like they can't handle the responsibility. Just like when the wife is pregnant with the baby, they get weirded out too because they're going to be a father and have responsibility now, and somebody's going to be looking at them. And then there's those men who are excited and happy and jump up and just ready to be somebody's daddy. There are those, but that's not who you married. You married one of those other ones that runs away. So the best thing that you could do right now is to get a divorce. That's what you should do. File for divorce. You've been with him, married for 9. The stress of dealing with him and feeling abandoned and all of that is going to take you right on up out of here. You need all your faculties and you need all the positive energy that you can get. You do not need to be around somebody who's going to be dragging you down and trying to hurt you. Okay, so you have a decision to make. Yeah, you're going to have to get surgery, you're going to have chemo, but you need to cut him out too while you're cutting out the cancer. Just get rid of both cancers at the same time. This guy is a joke. And you should tell your family so they can go there and beat his ass. Yeah, it's very sad, but it's the reality of a lot of women. When they get some chronic disease or something deadly like that, their husbands abandon them. That's very common. Empty the bank account first. Well, she probably wouldn't because you figured like she paid his student loans off. I wouldn't have done that. And she's taking care of him for 2 years because she thought that's what a good wife would do. Put his ass in a nursing home. Let them do it. I'm not doing that. I'm not changing no adult diapers. I'm not doing that. I already know. I wouldn't want nobody doing that for me either. So, I'd be a Kevorkian person. So I'm like, I don't want anybody doing that. I can't see myself. I mean, what's the point of all of that? I don't want to be bothered. So, yeah, he's something else. But you know what's going to happen to him? He's going to get in another accident. I'm calling it. He's going to get into another accident and he's going to be laid up and he's going to be needing somebody to take care of him again. And since they're going to be divorced, he won't have anybody to do it because he's thinking all these women he dipping with is going to do it. They're going to be like, "Psh, I'm here for the good time and the fun, homie. There ain't no good time or fun in looking at you and giving you bed baths and changing your bedpan and stuff. I'm not doing that." And so he just going to be dealing with it the best way he can. Side note, I know a woman who did that. Okay, let me tell you about this. Okay, one of my uncles married this woman, right? Her mama and daddy. So it wasn't really a relative of mine, but the aunt-in-law's mother. Uh, her they had been married like I don't know 30 years or something. And this guy decided he was gonna leave her for a younger woman, right? And everything was fine for about 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. A number of years. Um, and he had a stroke. And guess what? That young one was like, deuces. Because he wasn't, he was like a retired longshoreman and stuff. So, and plus he was, I mean, no, he was a longshoreman that was going to be retiring. That's what it was. So, you know how much money they make. So he was like bankrolling her big time. But then suddenly he couldn't work. And so he was getting like disability and stuff. And so his income was way less than it was. Plus he needed care. And he was like, and all that stuff. And so she was like, oh no, I did not sign up on this for this. I'm out. And guess what? His wife, that I guess they never really got a divorce, came and got him. And she took him to her house and, took him back home and cared for him until he died. I wouldn't have done it. I'm like, oh no, you stay over there. Stay over there with yourself. I don't know. Some women just got it in them. I guess she really loved him. Deb loves Deb too much. I wouldn't be doing that. Okay, and here we go. That was question number 12, right? There we go, 13. My 29, oh, female, 21 to 26 out of Dallas. Okay, my 29-year-old brother works part time, and his 28-year-old girlfriend works full time but does not have a good job. Why is he only working part time? What's wrong with him? They can't afford childcare, so for at least half of the week, our retired parents will take care of their daughter, and then sometimes I will have her. I'm only 24, but I make significantly more money than my brother and his girlfriend put together. Oh, they must not be making no money. Maybe they must make minimum wage or something. I am single and child free, so I also have lots of disposable income. I enjoy cooking and eating out, and I like to buy the best quality ingredients and foods that I can find. I realize this sounds super snobby, but the kind of food that my brother and his family buy for their house, I would not buy or have in mine because it's the cheapest possible food and usually very low quality. Whenever I watch my niece, not that often, maybe once a week, I feed her whatever I happen to have that I bought for myself. Freshly baked bread from bakeries, fresh fruits, pastries, nice cheeses, cold pressed juices, etc. Ooh, you be eating good. I'm coming to your house. My brother's girlfriend texted me the other day, furious, telling me that I was a snob, cruel, selfish, and malicious for feeding my niece foods that they cannot afford at their house. Apparently, now she is complaining about what they buy for her and what they feed her, saying that she doesn't want it and doesn't like it. She told me that I should know better than to feed her things that they cannot afford and that it is mean to do so. She sent paragraphs and paragraphs insulting me and calling me names. I texted her back telling her that I did not mean any harm by it, but that is simply what I have in my house. And if she wants me to keep watching her for free, I might add, don't complain or send her over with a packed lunch. I called my brother about the exchange and he defended her, saying that I was a jerk because they can't afford the types of things I have in my house. He said that I should buy the kind of things that they buy and keep that for when she comes over. I told him I could do that for a few things, but it's more effort for me when I'm already watching his kid for free to make a separate lunch and dinner for her. And then how do I explain to a child why I'm giving her a different kind of meal or snack than the one I'm eating right in front of her? Am I in the wrong here? I'm not trying to turn the child into a little toff. What's that? But it is really so bad to give her fresh orange juice and fresh fruits and bread just because my brother can't afford to feed that to her at her house, at his house. No, you good. Because my brothers would know better to call me with some bullshit like that. But you know, the first thing I would have told them, get your dusty, lazy, bum ass a full time job then. And you can afford to feed your family. Don't be mad because I make more money than you. Do something about it, you broke, dusty bum. That's what I would have told my brother. And then he would have hung up because he would. But see, and they know better. They would never do that. They would just be like, well, she at Deb's house, and that's what Deb eats, so she gonna feed her what she eat, and she's doing it for free, so we gonna shut up. That's my brothers. But yeah, to sit there, yeah, they ungrateful and dusty. But that's when you see like, let me. I got one better for you. Find somebody to watch your kid, and you feed her, and you pay the daycare bill for it, and you do all of that. You worry all about that yourself, cause it's not my problem. I'm calling myself doing you a favor, and then I got to get cussed out about it. How about I don't watch your little bitch ass at all? I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be bothered with her or you. And of course, that would might not be the truth because you do like your little niece and stuff. Babies are cute, especially around 4. 3, 4, 5 years old. They're cute at that age, but then they get older. But there's nothing wrong with a child eating good food. I mean, they should be. Why don't they go get food stamps or something? You can get fresh fruits and vegetables from food pantries if you don't have enough food. There's all kind of things that they could do to give their child a better diet. They complain about you when the once a week when you do. Yeah, brother, that they're dusty. But that's the main thing. I would be on his ass. Why you working part time, daddy? Sitting up there trying to be man of the household with a part-time fucking job, get a full-time job or work 3 jobs. That's what normal men do. If they can't get a full-time job, they work 3 part-time jobs. Why you only working one and then complaining that you don't have no money? What you doing the rest of the day? Sitting on your ass playing video games, watching TV? Get another job, clown. That's what you would do. That's what you need to tell him. Well, the girl working full time and then letting him work part time. Oh hell no, 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 no. You're gonna have 19 part time jobs. I don't care what. But you're not fixing to do this. Well, I'm gonna be busting my behind all day, and you get to sit back and relax after you do a 4 or 5 hour shift. No, we're not doing that. So you're not wrong, but the only thing that you didn't do was cuss them out. Yeah, I'm not trying to eat no, and I buy good liquor too. I want good liquor, I want good wine, and I want good food. So I like to shop in the suburbs for, when I go to get my fresh vegetables and stuff. I go to Sprouts out in Dublin or Walnut Creek. They have one in downtown Oakland, but I haven't been there. I don't really like to go downtown Oakland because of too many dusties. But so I go out to the burbs, get all my stuff, and then I come home. And it's a nice little ride on the freeway. It's no big deal. I'm like right in the middle. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. So let's move on to question 14. Female, 21 to 26, out of the UK. I've been dating this guy for 10 months now. At the beginning, we both went out a lot together and without each other, but I decided I didn't like drinking, so I stopped. So for a while, he continued to do the same thing all the time, drinking all weekend. And I tried to be okay with it. For a while, I was until he started blowing me off because he was still drinking or sleeping all day from being hungover. So I started to ask him to slow down, which he has, but he still drinks every weekend with his friends, and sometimes he still blows me off. So now I'm starting to react to it. When he mentions drinking, I tell him I don't want him to because we already have plans. So during the week, he's all for it. Then Friday comes and it's the same thing. He starts a fight and drinks all night with his friends and calls me Saturday evening apologizing. So lately, I've started getting upset, and we've been fighting about it. The fight started off with him saying he's just going for a couple of drinks, and I tell him I don't want him to. And he gets mad at me and starts calling me controlling, saying that he's a grown man and can do what he wants. Then it turns into a huge fight, and I get called crazy and controlling. In my head, that's not what it is at all. I'm tired of getting blown off. But the more he says those things, I start to feel like I'm the crazy one. He's also done things to upset me when I react. He says I'm overreacting, but this is the biggest fight. Am I crazy or is he making me crazy? No, you out your mind. You started off the relationship with this man drinking and y'all did that together. Then you changed. Okay, you changed. He's still the same. He's still doing the exact same things. Nothing about this man is different. At first, you were okay with it, and now you're not. So, the one who needs to go on to a different relationship because now who he is no longer suiting you because you changed is you. So, you tell him, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be with somebody who, maybe only drinks occasionally or not at all and has time for me. I don't want to be in a situation like this. I'm done with this relationship. It's only been 10 months and it sounds like you've been fighting for three-quarters of it about drinking, which you changed, you stopped doing, not him. You have no right to try to push what you do down somebody else's throat. And as I always say, if you're with a man and he is not giving you the relationship that you want, that is when you leave. You don't need to define it, excuse it, make excuses, understand it, explain to him nothing. You say, this is not the relationship that I want, and then you chuck up the deuces. That's all you ever have to say. He's blowing you off because he got a hangover and he's still drinking or whatever. That's not the relationship you want. You want a man who's going to be available to you physically and mentally and emotionally. He's not. So, I mean, it's very simple to me. It's been 10 months, but don't need to make it 11. Okay? Let's just dip out now and go on and find you somebody else. I'm just like, this is so get out right now. It's like, what is the problem? Why are you trying to hang on to this one dude and he's making you miserable with his alcoholic behind? Question number 14. I'm sorry, that was 14. Question number 15. Male, 30 to 36 in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I have 5 children, girls. Their mother passed away. Oh, I can see where this is going. Now I am married again, but my wife wants me to get rid of at least my baby, who's now just over 1 year old. Okay, so you have a baby that's just over a year old, and you already married to somebody. So you was dating this woman while the other lady was pregnant, or you just met this woman and already married her in less than a year? I'm confused. I think it's that one. Okay. I had asked her before marriage if she was okay with the 5 children I had or if there were any concerns because I wanted to know then. She said she didn't, but now she does. She seemed to get along and like the older girls just as long as they are doing what she asked them. When we were first married, she didn't want any of them except the 5 year old. Now she says she doesn't know what she was thinking, and she only likes the 3-year-old and 8 and 11-year-old. Seemed to despise the baby, 1-year-old. So it's the two youngest ones she doesn't, wait, no, the 5-year-old and the 1-year-old she doesn't like. The older girl seemed to like her. When she said she wished she never married me, oh boy. She said it's too late now, and she guessed she just wanted a good looking guy that knows the Bible well. She typically sleeps in until 10 to 11. I am up on weekdays at 6 or 6:30. Now I usually watch the 1-year-old in my office. She seems happy there. My wife reminds me that it's what is better for her, not the children. Wow. She's good to me physically, etc. She cooks for me occasionally. I usually don't ask for or require her to. Okay, so you pussy whooped. That's what that is. She likes to speak very poorly about others she doesn't like. It doesn't matter if they intended to do harm or not. I remind her that I don't like hearing this and I don't think it's right. About 20% of the time she says she doesn't care, which concerns me greatly, i.e., a moral justifier to get what I want instead of doing the right thing. Wow. If I don't do what she wants, she claims she wishes she had never married me. I asked her if she would go to counseling, and she said no. She claims the baby crying bursts her ears. What should I do? Get a divorce. That's what. Let me explain this to you, sir. See, this is why I tell y'all. This is why I tell y'all. When you get these women want to be dead, well, I don't mind. I like kids. It's not. You get with a man that has kids, and no matter who has custody of them kids, once something happens to that mama, them kids are coming to live with him because he's next to kin, and you in there in the house. That means you somebody's instant stepmother. I keep telling you, women don't be thinking about that stuff. So now the woman dies, and now you got 5 little girls that's going to be descendant upon the house. I would think that would be a lot for anybody. Now, she lied and said she was okay with it because she wanted to get married. Typical. Typical. They want to be married more than they care about the situation that they're marrying into, the man that they're marrying, anything. They just want to be somebody's wife. And you see, she don't work. So my thing would be this. I would tell her, well, you need to get a job. You need to get a job because we're getting ready to get a divorce. And you need to be able to support yourself. Because I have 5 children to support now. And that's going to take up all my money and all my time. I'm not going to have no money to give to you. So you need to get out and take your, dusty attitude with you and buy. And that's what's going to happen because you, sir, if you try to give that baby up for adoption, do you know not only are you going to fuck up that baby, you're going to fuck up the other 4 sisters who are going to feel like they don't even know who you are. What kind of father would give up his child to adoption because of some bitch? Because she thinks this is what she wants. No, 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 no. You get rid of her. Those children are your blood. Don't you dare turn your back on them. Don't you even think about it. The fact that you wrote this letter so shows you're confused and you're wavering and you don't know what you should do and you love your wife, but and all the stuff. So you're giving this some actual energy, which I find astounding. There should be like a no conversation. The second she said it, you're supposed to say, well, this is what's going to happen. Get the fuck out. Get out. I wish you hadn't married me either because you lied to me. You misrepresented yourself. You ain't no kind of woman that I want to be bothered with. You backstabbing evil asshole. Get out. Get out. Get out. That's what you're supposed to tell her. She says she don't care, but she want to have a husband that knows the Bible. She just a bitch. That's who you married. A bitch. So you need to get rid of her before she rubs off on your daughters. Get you a nanny. Somebody, to come in there and take care of them and supervise them and cook for them and stuff and clean up the house. You'll be all right. 60,000 people in that town? No, the baby's not hers. It's his. That's what I'm saying. 5 daughters. He has 5 daughters. And the mother of the daughters died. She probably died from having 5 kids. Shit. Raising 5 kids, that's exhausting even thinking about it. Whew. I'm feeling lightheaded. I told y'all 2 little kids, I'm just no. 1 is about all I can take. Question number 16, female, 21 to 26 in Anaheim. My friend and I are both 24 and we've been friends since we were 3. She has been planning her wedding for a year and it's mid-April. I'm a bridesmaid and have to fly into LAX to get to her wedding. I asked her if she would be postponing it due to the virus. Oh, she must be flying to Anaheim, but you put that as your town? That can't be right. I asked her if she would be postponing it due to the virus, and she said no, and that she thinks the virus is BS. This was about a week ago. I haven't heard that she's changed her mind since we last spoke. During that conversation, my friend also told me that she would be upset with me if I didn't come to her wedding. A fellow bridesmaid who would also have to fly to get there messaged me today and told me that she doesn't feel comfortable coming to her friend's wedding either. She also shared with me that our friend disclosed that she would be personally upset with her if she didn't come. At this point, I think my friend is extremely selfish to have a grudge for people who don't want to attend her wedding. She needs to be in denial about the seriousness of this that is invalidating everyone who is worried about the virus. I get that she's been planning this for a year and that postponing it would be extremely hard and overwhelming, but she's not considering the safety of her guests. I want to be there more than anything, but I can only see this getting worse. I need to tell her soon that I'm not going to be able to come, but I don't know how to approach this and I'm scared. Any advice? Nope. I have none. I have none. I have no advice because this is a situation where, you're young, healthy. You could wear a mask on a plane. You know what I mean? Wear gloves if you have to. Wash your hands like you should. There's no reason for you to be all flipped out in the 21 to 26 age group about coronavirus. Not to the point where you would abandon somebody who's been your friend since you were 3 years old on her wedding day because of your unreasonable fears. So I have no advice for you. You just gonna have to make whatever decision you make. It's gonna have to be on your own. I don't have nothing to say about that. Well, via webcam, that's not the same. I don't know. For me, I would go. I'm just not really, I don't know. It just seems like a bit overblown to me. Because everybody that's dying is old, not 21 to 24. I don't know. I just really can't really say anything. I know if it was me, I would be going. But you do what's works makes you feel better, what makes you feel good, but realize your relationship, your friendship that you've had for your entire life is about to go up in smoke if you make that decision. So y'all do what y'all gonna do. This is the final question of the day. We only had 17 questions today, probably because of coronavirus. Everybody's worried about that instead of you know, their relationship, except for these few brave souls. But it is what it is. Hopefully, we'll have more letters next week because I know you all like to have at least 2021. But we have 17. So here we go. The last question of the day. This is from a male in the 37 to 45 age group out of San Jose. I have been estranged from three of my siblings for years. Well, dang, how many do you have? It's a really bad situation that ballooned out of something really trivial, in my opinion. Harsh words spoken during an argument in 2011. And y'all still mad? I tried to extend olive branches, they shredded them. Long story short, the three of them hate me. Their adult kids do too. Their father died a few days ago. I sent them all a text expressing condolences. They ignored it. I don't know if I should go to the funeral for two reasons. Number one, I don't want the sight of me to cause them more strife and grief. And two, I really think that if it were my father who passed, they would gloat and be happy at my hurt. Any advice is appreciated. Nope, don't go. Don't go. Let me tell you why. When people are grieving, they get weird as hell. They want to direct a lot of people don't know how to deal with their grief, and so it turns into anger, and they want to blame somebody for their hurt. You would be the scapegoat because they're already not talking to you, ignoring you and acting stupid. Were you to show your face there, they would gang up on you. You might end up in having to call 911 to get yourself up out of there if they decide to jump you or something. That would be a very, very high risk situation, sir, that I would advise you to stay out of. You already sent your condolences. They haven't talked to you in all this time, don't want to talk to you. So please do not try to force yourself into that situation. Let them grieve by themselves with a ratchet daddy and a ratchet attitude, and you stay out of it. Don't contact them. Don't do anything. Just ignore the fact you did everything that you need to do by saying, I'm sorry for your loss. That's it. That's all you have to do. They didn't want to hear it, so just let it go. You don't have to be evil about it, but don't try to push yourself into that situation. You're not going to the funeral, in other words. And that's my final answer. You're not going. Okay? You're not going. So they must be like half brothers and sisters and stuff. Well, I mean, people get in their feelings about stuff like that. You just never know. Some people just get weird and they don't want to talk and, they just, whatever. My thing is, they ain't putting no money in your pocket, no in your bank account. They not donating an organ to you. So who cares? That's my thing. Yeah. Well, webcam funeral. No, don't even go. Don't look. Don't say nothing. Just leave them alone. They're grieving right now, and that's going to be hard enough. They don't need you there to, be able to pounce on you and get their vent their rage on. Don't do that to yourself. All right? So, there ends another What the Fuck Tuesday relationship advice. My name is Deborah Cooper. We do this usually on Tuesdays, but I had a little something I had to do with one of my relatives yesterday, and so I switched it, to today. And so if you have a question that you'd like to be, you're brave and you want to have it submitted to be on for consideration on What the Fuck Tuesday, send it via the link. It's in the show description down below. It says Get Advice. Just click that link and it'll take you to the advice submission form, and you can fill that out and see what's going on. Try to follow the instructions. Make your letter succinct and to the point. Make it punchy, and then it's more likely to get selected. And we always choose letters too that have more general appeal. A lot of people would have that kind of situation. Those are the ones we tend to choose. The ones that are too particular to one particular, just to you, we don't pick those for the column. Just so you know, that's the criteria that we use to choose the letters. But thanks everybody for um, for sitting in with me, and I hope you guys are all doing what you need to do to stay safe in these very interesting times. Um, wash your hands. You can make your own what you call that gel, the white from some alcohol and some aloe vera gel and a little essential oil like tea tree oil or something that kills, bacteria. Add a few drops of that to it, and then you got your own hand sanitizer and it'll smell better and probably work better anyway. Okay. So I will see you guys real soon. We are getting here. We do the get together on Friday night for the DNN. So I will see you then, if not before, because you just never know with me if I want to do a pop up. Okay. You guys take care. Talk to you later. Bye bye.